Today, we're just going to get right into it as your favorite talking head does his best to review another television show. This time, it's another Apple show. That's right, are you surprised? Probably not. Silo, which just finished out last week on Apple TV Plus, and you should go out there and binge it right away, especially if you like sci fi shows. Hi, I'm your host, Chris Humphrey, and for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm just another talking head doing my best to get my zit out there, opinion out there, so that we can get you to listen more, watch more, and in particular, Apple TV Plus. They need to hire me as a spokesperson because none of their shows are advertised properly. Boom, I'll do it, but you got to pay me, obviously. Today's just happens to be Silo, which just finished up, and I enjoyed every part of it, and it found out it was based off of a series of books which I never heard of called Wool. Obviously, now that I finished the show, I'm going to pick it up and see what the differences are and if they got things right, if they made things better, because sometimes television and movies tend to sometimes make books even better. Books tend to be fillers and they tend to get lots of things where we can get a little wordy, sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. For example, Forrest Gump, the book, I thought was atrocious. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because it just happened to carry on. And then the movie turns out to be an utter masterpiece, but that probably has to do with Robin Wright and Tom Hanks, and of course, Sally Field, who loves her son very much and is willing to do stuff while her son's outside. Anyways, back to the show at hand, Silo. I'm going to give you the plot first because it's a little bit complicated and it runs for, 10 episodes? And there better be a next season or I'm going to cry because the way they end that, I'm going to be like, you mother effers. Or I'm going to read the books and find out, you mother effers. And then that's what's going to happen. But the plot is very simple. We are 150 years into an apocalypse, or 100 years, maybe more. I'm probably misremembering, where everybody has been jam packed in the world into these silos, underground, burrowed underground, because the air is allegedly toxic and poisonous, and that. And in these silos, they hold, I don't know, thousands and thousands of people that have survived and managed to get in, and we've managed to create lives on, I don't know, 100 and some odd levels of people, and everybody has a role in this actual silo. Starts off the first episode with the lovely Rashida. I apologize. Oh my God, she's gonna kill me. Rashida Jones. And if you don't know who she is, go out and watch Parks and Recreation. Go out and watch The Office. Go out and watch arguably one of the greatest television comedian and actress of all time. That's right. Eat your heart out, Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. She might be better, but she never gets the credit that she's due because, well, people only look at her for one thing. That's right. Her dad is an artist. You perverts. I know what you were thinking, but she's very talented, very funny, very charming, and she does an excellent job in the first episode there. Now, how do I describe more of this without spoiling any of it to you? If you read the books, you already know what it's about, so I'm not spoiling anything there. But basically, people want to know in the silo, and the people watching definitely want to know, well, what the hell's wrong with the world and what the hell's wrong with outside? I want to know. I know you want to know. Do we ever get there? No. And we don't really get there until the end of the episode. Each episode that came out, I kept asking myself, hey, are we going to find out what's going on outside? There's something very suspicious with these judicial and the mayors and all that. I don't like these people. They look shady. I bet you the world's fine outside, right? You start playing on you. And that's what this show's hoping. It plays on you, right? You get along with the characters. It probably does the same in the book, probably with a little more intensity. And then you have a lovely actor, Mr. Lua, who is the sheriff of this town, and his lovely wife asks to go outside because she thinks she found the secret. And once she asks to go outside, that means you get to go outside and meet your untimely death because that air is toxic. But we don't really know. And then it shifts to the second episode and it introduces Rebecca Ferguson's character, who becomes the main protagonist for the rest of the show. And then it carries on. But after that first episode, I was intrigued enough to continue, and I kept continuing. Um, what people aren't going to like is that it is a very slow burn, but it's a sci-fi. I've never met a sci-fi that's been good, that's been fast-paced. Maybe Star Wars. I don't know. Would you consider that fast-paced? I would, because you never get the full lore right away. Um, I'm trying to think of other sci-fi, maybe iRobot, but you get a very, very slow burn, so some people aren't gonna like it, and well, tough on them. I like when they're building up the world. Yeah, every episode I kept going, well, what's going on outside? What happened to the world? What the hell is down below in the water? Right? What is going on? Is there a door down there? Is George right the whole time? Right? That's what I kept thinking. But just take me outside. I want to know what's outside. And that's what made this show prolong for so much. It was just slow to get there, and that's probably the whole point. And that's probably why they're setting up for the next episode or the next season. I apologize, but uh, that's really all they can do. And sometimes the acting can be a little wooden because, well, it's meant to be that way because people are trying to draw in. But then you get Common, who does a great job as a henchman type of thing, and then you got Tim Robbins, who's always great. Jacob's Ladder, Bull Durham, he's fantastic in that. Um, what else has he done? My God, you name it, he's been in it. He always plays Shawshank Redemption. Uh, Bull Durham, Shawshank Redemption, Jacob Ladder's arguably some of the greatest films of that era. Um, and he's in there. You got great supporting cast and characters and actors that do such a great job that it makes you want to continue on. It's just slow. What I really liked about it is I really liked the writing. I liked that the characters felt developed, and I liked that the higher ups, the judicial, and that were hiding some things. And perfect. It felt like 1984. Everybody's watching, but in such a closed um, circuit, and that's why I really enjoyed it. It was just like I said, slow. Uh, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. Like I said, the only part about it is I wanted to know more about what's happening outside. Each episode we got a little, and that's the whole point of a TV show, right? That's why when I read these reviews of online and people just reviewed one episode at a time, because they think that's the best way to do things. Uh, and they say, oh, this is bad because we don't know. Well, the whole point of a movie and a television show is you sit there, you watch it, and you go, oh, because they eventually reveal information. That's the whole point. And you can make guesses along the way, and that's the whole fun of some things. But don't go in there and be like, I didn't like this because they didn't tell us that. Well, listen, it's a 10 episode show. That's why reviews for television in particular and movies, you should wait until the bitter end. Don't tell me you stopped watching it because I didn't like it and didn't feel good and I didn't know what was going on outside. Tell me you watched all 10 episodes and then you said, I didn't like it because I didn't like what's going on outside, right? Tell me that you watched it all. Don't tell me after one episode, I'm going to give up. Right? If we did that, great. But it is your time, it is your money. And if you want to, that's fine. But don't go out there bad mouthing something because you only watched half of it or like 10% of it. There's so much more to go, and television reviews should be for the whole season in a whole. And this is where a show that you have to watch the whole season because it gets to a point where you're like, oh, that's what happens with these sheriffs there. And shout out to Common. I haven't. I've only ever heard his music. I don't remember much with him in it. I'm trying to think. Was he in a Fast and the Furious? No, it's ludicrous, right? I, you know what? I don't know any other thing that he was in as an actor. I'm trying to think. Right? The brain gets warped, but he did a great job at playing the henchman. Uh, to very evil people that don't want people to know what's going on in the world. I liked it. So again, a 9. Let me know what you think of it. You can see where I put it on my list. Let me know what you think of me. Let me know why Apple keeps killing me with all these shows that nobody watches. Right? We got to figure out that why. Why are nobody watching this? I keep recommending these shows to people, and they're just, oh, it's on Apple. Ugh. But you have an iPhone. You can get it free for 3 months. I promise. Get out there. Watch Ted Lasso. I always tell people to start with that one. But Silo is a good choice if you like this kind of premise. And Silo, very intriguing. 9 out of 10. It's not perfect. It's just a little slow. I love you guys. Let me know what you think of me down below. Is the Zit getting better? I don't know. I popped it the other day. It was disgusting. But let me know. If I don't see you guys again, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Producer, play the music, but not the theme song to Silo because I can't afford that. Ciao.